Peace and assalamu alaikum, everybody. My name is Mumtahana Ansari, and welcome again to my YouTube channel. I have been talking a lot on this channel about my health journey because I need to talk about it for my own sanity and mental well-being, but mostly because I just want to put certain things out there for folks who may not be aware that certain things exist, or just may need support and information or have you about it. So today what I kind of want to do is talk to the brothers briefly. And by brothers I mean black and brown men, because this whole fibroid and ultimately hysterectomy that I am dealing with and will be soon dealing with, it's very serious for me, but for so many other people. And the fact is that statistics say black women are 2 to 3 times more likely to get fibroids than white women, and that an estimated 80% of all black women will have fibroids develop by the time they get reach menopause, so around 50, 51, 52, those ages. So it's very serious. It's very serious because fibroids, they are non-cancerous growths on the uterus. Sometimes it can be sort of embedded in the uterus, and they can get really, really big, like the size of a cantaloupe or larger. I think I only have one fibroid from going on the ultrasounds that I have had. But it is like 9 centimeters, which seems small, but that's about the size of a small grapefruit, which that's really saying something. My uterus is nearly 10 times the size that it should be. A uterus is really small, actually. It will like fit in the palm of my hand. Surprisingly, that was a shocker when I learned that. But the problem, some women don't get any pain or anything like that, but many women do, from becoming an anemic, which I am a severe anemic, to hemorrhaging, which I hemorrhage, which I've been in the hospital several times because of it, and have had to get iron infusion, so liquid iron, like bags of it, shot directly into my vein. Once I had to get an actual blood transfusion, and this is very common for women, very common for women. Some women have really bad pain, have really bad cramps during their cycle, and when they don't have their cycles, it's just a lot. And so there are some natural remedies that women can take to shrink fibroids, but of course they take time. If they're not having any sort of complications, then that's fine. They can, drink moringa tea, or they could drink, like the powder doesn't have to be tea. You can put it in smoothies or whatever. Or red clover, red raspberry. They're really good for fibroids, shrinking fibroids. But know that natural remedies take a long time to work. It's not something that happens in like overnight or a week or two. It takes time, it takes discipline, it takes consistency. And that's fine if you have that discipline, and if you can be consistent with it, and if you don't have any complications. But for women like me who, again, have chronic illness because of it, to the point of being hospitalized, we don't always have that option. And so I was going to say something else. It'll come back to me. So, a couple of the medical remedies that they have for it are endometrial ablation, which is they go into the endometrial, the lining, like around the uterus, basically, and they either burn it or freeze it. And the point is to make all this like scar tissue develop around your uterus so that every month, when you know our hormones, God, you have to forgive me, I get brain fog because of the situation. Um, but anyway, like hormonally, every month, we get a cycle. But so we still have the hormones with endometrial ablation, but it can't. Normally, the hormones trigger the endometrial to like swell or whatever and do what it has to do. And if there's no no fertilization of an egg, then it sheds, which is what we call blood, but it's just the shedding of the lining of the uterus. So with endometrial ablation, with all that scar tissue and stuff, it's not being triggered to do that. So there's no cycle. And what the hope is that it will make the fibroids, since there's no blood being fed to it, it will eventually shrink, hopefully. But the problem is, even for women who it works for initially, usually down the line, it becomes a big problem. Also, a woman can still get pregnant from it, and it would be such high risk that they suggest that you go in and get an abortion. So those things weren't good for me. And also, so many women, it does not work for at all. So they have excruciating pain. They have really bad and very smelly, I'll just say what it is, very smelly discharges. Oh gosh, all sort of issues with it, which brings most people, even when it works for them initially, brings them to hysterectomy, which is the other really, really big thing that women get. And they estimate that out of 400,000 hysterectomies done per year, 80% of them are done to black women. And so, knowing that, chances are black men and brown men are going to inevitably be in contact with a woman on an intimate basis who has had a hysterectomy, whether it's your mom, your sister, your daughter, your auntie, your wife, your girlfriend, your co-worker, because it's done so much, and that's per year. So I think it would be good for you brothers to do some research so that you know what they are with these like illnesses, I guess you could say, what they are and what are the options for them and what it is that you can do to help the woman in your life or the women in your life who are going through this. Because I'm going to tell you, it's very, very, very scary for us. It's very scary, it's very painful, it's very emotional. Although I hear and I do a lot of research because I'm going through it, but also I'm on support groups. So I deal with other women, like hundreds of women who have gone through this or are dealing with it now. And so it's weird in a way for me because so many women, and especially the doctors, male and female doctors, sort of act like, yeah, just get rid of it. And doctors would certainly act like that, like, oh, well, you're not going to have any more children, are you? Like, you don't need it, just get rid of it, which is so crazy. And you know, it's really something that a lot of women have to deal with mentally and emotionally because, like, you almost feel like, okay, am I tripping? Like, this is big, right? Like, there's no children. And so, we really need that support from our men. Again, our sons, brothers, uncles, everyone. My uncle is the bomb. Big ups, Uncle Thayer. Um, and so we really need um, your support. And so, of course, the best way to offer that support is to do some research and sort of learn what's going on here. And let me just say, just in case some of you don't know what a hysterectomy is the removal of the uterus. So you can have a partial hysterectomy, you can have a total hysterectomy. So within that whole region, you have the uterus, you have the cervix, you have the fallopian tubes, you have the ovaries. Many women want to keep the ovaries because that's what produces hormones. So if you get rid of those, they really go through a whole lot. Not only with like hot flashes and stuff like that, but exhaustion, other issues that they go through. A lot of women opt to keep their cervix, where many others do not. The cervix, to me, my own personal opinion, is that there's this big hype about, oh, you can get cervical cancer. Like, if you have sex, you can get cervical cancer. But this is really like a big if. Like, a lot of women get it, but I don't know. I think they overdo it. But even with my doctor, who she's like, well, I want to take your fallopian tubes too because they can become cancerous. But to her point, she's like, well, like, I might as well just take them because they're really not gonna be doing. They have no function without the uterus working. You know what I mean? So it makes sense. I'm not. My whole uterus isn't being taken, just part of it. Um, so yeah. So we really do need mental and emotional support, and of course physical support because post-op is very, very trying. We really can't do anything. No loading the dishwasher, no, cleaning the toilet, like none of that kind of stuff. Of course, there's new sex. So usually it's anywhere between 4 and 6 weeks, but everybody's different. So when you go for your 2 and your 6 week checkup, your doctor will tell you if you can be intimate or not. And that's like no intimacy, like outer or inner, if you get what I mean. So, women, we really, really need your guys' support. I know oftentimes we have to be really strong, and a lot of women act like, I'm good. Like, I don't really need a man to do this and do that. But, oh God, your help goes such a long way. So yeah, I would suggest that you guys just look into it, because even if you don't know anyone now, again, chances are you are going to be with someone who has had a hysterectomy, will have a hysterectomy. And again, I know for me it's really super emotional, just the fact alone that I will not be able to have children any longer. And I really wanted I won't go into that, but yeah, so you know look into it, just check into it. Your daughter might have to get one or whatever. Even look into fibroids and different remedies for it, naturopathic and not. But understand, you are to be there for her. It ain't about you, okay? Like, don't sweat her because she's super tired or whatever the case is. Try not to be stressful. Try to be caring. Whatever it is she needs, who knows what she needs? I can't say what she's gonna need, but she may need you just to be a shoulder, just to talk to, and just for you to be an ear to listen and just to show some empathy. I know a lot of brothers may not have learned how to do that, but try it. So anyway, I don't want this to be a really long video. I just did want to put out there to you guys to please be supportive to us, because we really, really need you in this, for our own health, for the health of our families. If mama is down, everything is going to kind of be off. So with that, peace. Thank you. I hope I got my point across, because I think I kind of went off on a tangent. But yeah, try to do that, okay? Remember, we are partners. Teamwork. All right, peace.